around 40,000 soldiers were killed to keep the tomb of one of the greatest emperors a secret. An emperor whose bloodline lives on in an estimated 16 million men alive today, all carrying Y chromosomes that trace back to a single ancestor who lived 800 years ago in Mongolia, believed by many to be Genghis Khan.
The story begins in the 13th century, in the year 1201, when Genghis Khan started attacking all the small tribes of Mongolia to expand his influence. Among these tribes was the powerful Jamuka tribe. It is said that during a battle with Jamuka's forces, an arrow suddenly flew past and grazed Genghis Khan's neck. But by sheer luck, he survived and won the battle. After his victory, he called the archer who shot that arrow and offered him a place in his army. In this way, he kept recruiting skilled warriors, making his army stronger and stronger. During his 40-year reign, Genghis Khan's empire expanded beyond imagination. Eventually, his eyes turned toward the Tangut Empire, also known as Western Xia. This agricultural community was famous for rice production, something that could feed his massive army of 15 to 20 million people. Conquering this empire would not only fulfill his ambitions, but also make the Mongol Empire economically stronger. In 1205, he attacked Western Xia. However, its ruler Emperor Li was so powerful that this war dragged on for 5 years. In the end, as always, Genghis Khan won, but his forces were severely weakened. Despite his victory, the people of Western Xia refused to fully obey him. They rejected his demands, including when he asked them for soldiers. This humiliation infuriated him, and he attacked Western Xia again. This time, not to rule over them, but to completely destroy them. Genghis Khan was known to be cruel and ferocious, but he was also incredibly wealthy. Adjusted for today's economy, his wealth would have been around $120 trillion. His empire building was on an unimaginable scale. Consumed by revenge, he slaughtered every soldier in Western Xia. But during the battle, he failed to notice an arrow approaching him. It pierced his knee. Despite the pain, he ignored the injury and kept fighting. The Mongols won the battle, but his wound became infected. He never recovered enough to return to his capital. That injury ultimately led to his death in the battlefield camp. Before dying, Genghis Khan wrote specific instructions for his burial. According to Mongol tradition, if a king wished his burial place to remain a secret, then no matter what, it would stay hidden. As his body was taken back, soldiers killed every human and animal that saw the procession. Once they reached the burial site, 2,000 people were invited to attend his funeral. But it was not a normal invitation. It was an invitation to death. After the burial, soldiers killed every person who knew the location of his grave. To erase any trace, they released thousands of horses to trample the ground, making it look like untouched land. After this, the soldiers who carried out the massacre were themselves killed by another unit, and that unit was also killed by another. This cycle continued until no one alive knew where the tomb was. Around 40,000 people were sacrificed in Genghis Khan's name. To this day, no one knows where his body lies. But there are other versions of this story. In one version, after being injured, he was taken to a battlefield camp where he died. As with the first story, everyone who saw the burial was killed and horses trampled the site. But here's the twist. After his burial, a nearby river was diverted to flow over his grave. Why? Because no one would dare dig through a river to find a tomb, and even if they tried, they wouldn't succeed. And that's exactly why. Even after more than 800 years, no one really knows where Genghis Khan was buried. Not historians, not archaeologists, no one. His grave has never been found.
no physical trace has ever been confirmed. It's as if the earth itself swallowed the secret. And despite all the stories, the theories, and the technology we have today, the final resting place of the world's most powerful conqueror remains one of history's greatest mysteries. If you like this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next one.